Hi, welcome back to the Blind LP for Eagle Eye Mysteries in London. We are going to start on a new case now. It's called the Case of the Ancient Armor. So let's begin. Jennifer, how would you and Starkaze like to meet me here at Snitby's? I've got a great lead on a story and it seems just the sort of thing you two sleuths would enjoy. Sure thing, Annem. What's the scoop? Count von Kohlberg, one of the wealthiest men in Germany, recently bought a king's suit of armor for nearly £1 million. He says if anyone can prove which king owned the armor, he'll donate it to that king's castle. Sounds like a job for Eagle Eyes. We'll be right there. Okay. Snooty's. Is there an auction house? Look at that! That must be the suit of armor Aunt Miranda told us about. It's beautiful. I bet Joan of Arc had a suit like that. Ah, a perfect piece. Name? And the bidding, such ferocity, such passion. But I outbid them all. You know, we Germans were some of the first masters of armory. This suit is the work of a great master. Look at that metalwork. The etching that decorates the metal. It is the finest I have ever seen. If you like the armor so much, why are you going to donate it to one of the castles, Count? It is not the having of a thing. It is the acquisition of a thing. The thing is mine to do with as I will, Nain. I'm not sure how to pronounce that actually. I will return it to the castle to which it belongs. Then I will begin the search for my next treasure. Okay. Is that done? No. My bad. A splendid piece, really splendid. But dash it, the previous owner had no information whatsoever as to its origins. It was part of an inheritance he received from a distant and somewhat mysterious relative. Okay. I did notice the inscription Henry Rex on the collar. That's Latin for Henry the King. So obviously the suit was fashioned for a King Henry. But the question is, which Henry? We've had 8 King Henrys here in England, you know. The suit's design is complex enough that we can rule out any king before 1400, but that leaves Henrys the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Frankly, I can never keep those Harry straight myself. I thought it's Henry. I suppose that one just had to get used to their numbers. We usually refer to kings and queens of the same name with a Roman numeral. So Henry the 5th is Henry V. Henry the 6th is Henry VI. I'm just describing how the number looks like. Henry the 7th is Henry VII and Henry the 8th is Henry VIII. It's actually quite simple because once you've seen Final Fantasy's way of numbering, you should be able to get numbers quite easily. So I imagine the beefeaters at the Tower of London Armory might be of some help. Some of them are absolute wizards on ancient arms. Well, it's been a while since we've seen the beefeater. The suit of armor that Count von Kohlberg purchased is about 6 feet tall, quite broad and made of light ornately engraved metal. The arms and legs of the suit are embossed with intricate patterns of gold and silver. Etched cleverly into the calf of a gauntlet is the word Holbein. Holbein? That doesn't sound Latin. I wonder what it means. It's probably a name. Sounds like you two might have to pop around the library at the British Museum and hit the books if you want to crack this case. You can go to Victoria Station for the train if you want to explore outside of London. But remember, Uncle Basil and I expect you and Stakazi home in time for tea. Okay. I can't face that now. I can't. Let's go to the British Museum and meet Mr. Snitz. There he is. The British Library has some of the coolest old books and manuscripts in the world. Mr. Snit will probably help us sort them out, but he can be pretty testy. Well, yes, what is it? Sorry to bother you, Mr. Snit, but we're trying to do some research on the kings of England. Oh, and I'm just meant to stop everything and stack up the history of Britain, are you? For you? Oh no, really, that's okay. We can do our own research. What? And have you scrabbling through? Have you been? I don't know. And have you been scrabbling through my precious volumes? I think not. Anyway, Miranda said you'd be coming, so I took a moment to set aside the best of our history collection for you over there. Hey, thanks. That'll really save us a bunch of time. Yes, no, just stay quiet. I'm nearly through cataloging our new collection of Dr. Seuss sketches, and I must have some face. Okay, give me a moment. I need to save for a while. Alright, I'm back here. To be honest, any parts before this was recorded days ago, maybe a week or so, because at that time when I recorded this, I was pretty tired, very sleepy, but I still wanted to record. However, it seems that I was just simply too tired. So what happened was, after the part I said I was going to save, I kind of didn't save. I accidentally started a new case, so my parts before this, thankfully not a lot, was completely gone, and I realized I made a new case, and I didn't want to replay it at that point because I was just so sleepy. So I'm like continuing again from here now. I'm still a bit tired, but at least hopefully I won't be subconsciously like restarting my games, hopefully. So we'll start from here once more. Let's talk to Mr. Snip. All those Henrys, actually, if you noticed, even the way I talked in the previous parts, it was kind of sluggish and slow, and I couldn't make out the words because it was my subconsciousness reading it. Okay, that's all I wanted to clear up. Let's continue. All those Henrys, without my notebook, I'd never keep them straight. If some kings were good and some were bad, why didn't people just fire the bad ones? What a perfectly American question. king's son voted into office like a president or a member of the House of Commons. A king gained his throne by conquering enemies in battle or simply because he was born into the right family. Our English monarchs passed down the crown to their firstborn son or to the eldest daughter if they had no sons. Not a very scientific way of selecting a ruler, if you ask me. Sometimes a new king was just not suited to the rule. Too sickly, too cocky, or perhaps just altogether too thick, or what you might call stupid. Unfortunately, the people he ruled were stuck with him unless someone overthrew him. In a democracy like your United States, the president doesn't just inherit his office, he has to earn the support of the people who vote for him. If he doesn't, they'll vote for someone they think would be a better leader. Now, let me get back to Seuss. Oh, he's reading Dr. Seuss. And keep quiet. This is a library. Uncivilized colonists. Don't worry about Mr. Sneed's sarcasm. Uncle Basil and he are great pals from way back. He might be the crabby type, but he knows just where to find anything about anything. I know. Henry V lived from 1387 to 1422. He is featured in several of Shakespeare's historical plays, but was a much more serious young man than Shakespeare made him out to be. I see. Henry successfully commanded the English army when he was only 16. As he grew older, he became a great soldier and politician. In 1415, he conquered the north of France at the Battle of Agincourt. You know when I'm not sure how to pronounce a word. Henry VI. Hang on. Then what Henry was it just now? Was the son of Henry V. He became King of England and France in 1422, before he was even 1 year old. What? When he grew up, it turned out that unlike his father, he was not qualified to rule. His weakness and madness led to a civil war in England. Okay, the War of the Roses between Henry's family, the Lancasters. You will give me a moment and let me find out how to pronounce that. Okay, I'm back. I guess it's pronounced as Lancaster. So, the Lancasters and a rival family, the Yorks, began in 1455. During this bloody civil war, Henry lost the throne to Edward IV and won it back 9 years later, only to lose it again within the year. Well, that's tough for him. Henry VI was at last imprisoned and murdered in the Tower of London in 1471. Oh dear. The House of York then took over the English throne. Wow. Can I see the other Henry again? Oh, that's Henry V. Alright. To 1422, the year that his son became king. He died, was it? He didn't mention that he died. Henry VIII ruled England from... Hang on. But I thought it was taken over by the other family. 1509 to 1547. In his quest to have a son who could inherit his throne, he got married a total of 6 times. When the Pope didn't allow him to divorce his first wife, Henry VIII broke England's old ties with the Church of Rome and named himself supreme head of his own church, the Church of England, to be rid of 2 of his later wives, Anne Boleyn. Let me find out how to pronounce that too. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. He had them beheaded. Oh my goodness. He had them beheaded at the Tower of London. Henry's surviving children all had the chance to wear the crown. The short-lived Edward VI married Mary the First. Okay, Mary the First and the Great Elizabeth the First. Okay, wait. Henry's surviving children all had the chance to wear. Edward the Sixth, Mary the First, and Elizabeth the First. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of history to remember. Henry the Seventh ruled England from 1485 to 1509. He was the head of the Lancaster family, and he ended the I see. That makes sense now. And he ended the War of the Roses by marrying Elizabeth of York. This united the two warring families under a new name, Tudor? Okay, I'm back again. Tudor. Alright. Henry's diplomacy and sense of justice brought order and security to England. He established many treaties and policies that allowed England to prosper under his reign. He's a smart one, the seventh. There was nothing about Rex though. Should I go to Victoria Station? What's up there then? Tower of London. Oh yeah, the Beefeaters. Let's go there first. Okay. Oh, okay. Until Henry VIII. Okay. The armory here let me wait for the song to finish. Okay, there we go. The armory here at the tower is filled with different kinds of cool suits of armor and neat weapons. Jake spends hours here drooling over those swords. Let's see what we can find out about the Count's armor. Okay. Let's talk to him. Mr. Hargreaves. Long time no see. The tower's... I forgot his voice. Oh well. The tower's been the site of the royal armories for hundreds of years. Most of the suits of armor we have here are older than your country, young miss. Armor's changed a great deal since the first thick leather greatcoats. Those protected the soldiers a bit against arrows and sword blows, but not very well. In the 1300s, smiths learned to make coats of tightly meshed iron rings called mail. Now that was a charm. Mail was flexible so you could move around, but strong enough to keep out arrows and even daggers. Wow, that would have been great. You could be safe inside your chainmail even when people were shooting arrows at you. Unless they shoot it at your head, I guess. Do they have, helmets? Yes, but soon axes and maces came on the battlefield, and the mail wasn't much good against their heavy blows. So armorers in the days of Henry V, around the year 1400, invented ways of making metal into hard protective plates. That's interesting. Those were molded into the full suits of plate armor you see in films. Wearing one must have felt a bit like being a sardine in a can. But inside you were safe from the sharpest swords and even light musket balls. The bullets fired by the first guns. Wow. Bulletproof. I'm proud to say we've got some of the finest examples of plate armor here at the tower. Some of our most splendid were made for King Henry VIII. That's the last king. In the early 1500s, Henry was a great big bully of a man, fierce and arrogant. Even when he was too old and too ill to fight, he had his craftsmen at the Royal Armor Workshop to make him marvelous new suits of armor. They had to be specially designed to fit his bulky frame. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. This armor is marked Renaissance armor. It's really fancy. Every piece is decorated with gold designs. But where's the shield? With armor like this, you wouldn't need a shield, Jennifer. Your armor shields your whole body. You'd want to keep your hands free to carry your sword. Some of the swords were so big you needed 2 hands to swing them. These suits of armor seem kind of small. Were they made for kids? No, not these suits. They were for grown men. But people were a bit smaller in those days. They weren't as healthy either. Hundreds of years ago, people weren't able to get fresh fruits and vegetables as readily as we do now. They didn't eat as well. So the average person didn't get as big as the average person now. And they didn't live as long either. Okay. That is a lot of information to remember. Let's go to the station. Alright, where do you want me to point you at now? Oh, 2 places. Aunt Miranda says that exploring some castles might help us discover which king owned Count von Kuberg's armor. Which one do you want to visit first? The first one then. Hampton Court is only a few miles up the Thames River from London. It has a maze in the garden that has walls made with hedges. Okay. Hampton Court. Okay. Wrong. This looks more like a palace than a castle. I have no idea what's the difference actually. The guidebook says that this is where Henry VIII lived. Let's hurry up and see if we can find any clues. If we don't have much time, if we want to get back to London before tea time. Okay. He looks familiar. From which case? I can't remember. Was it the acting one? I think so. Jennifer Starkaze, come to admire the palace. These paintings are by Antonio Verrio, an Italian painter hired by William III. Marvelous, aren't they? They're gorgeous, but I'm afraid that today we're more interested in Henry VIII. Where can we find out more information about him? Well, there's so much to tell. It's a piece of luck for you that I'm here doing some sketching. Henry VIII happens to be a favorite subject of mine. Okay, I would like to know more. He was one of the most interesting of all the English kings. My favorite, really? Do I suspect not one of the nicest? The other guy said he was a bully, wasn't it? It's said that over 80,000 people were executed during his reign. Whoa! Including 2 of his own wives. He executed them? I don't remember receiving that info. He was a ruthless king, but what a fascinating character. Did you know they credit him with inventing the game of tennis? Oh, he was a poet too, and quite an excellent musician. But whenever I look at these Holbein portraits of him, I'm always struck by his haughty expression. Oh, what it must have been like to be king in those days. The power, the wealth. Holbein? We ran across that name Starkaze, remember? Who is that, Mr. Frescura? Give me a moment. Please hang on. Okay, yeah. Something went wrong with my mouse. But it's okay now. So let's continue. Oh, Hans Holbein. A genius. He was Henry VIII's court painter. He painted wonderful portraits of the king and his family. He is considered one of the greatest artists of his period. Have I read this? I can't remember. Okay. Oh, is that all? Alright. Let's go to the other station. Alright, Windsor. I've never been to Windsor Castle before. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. This will be cool. Let's see. The train we want runs east and west. Check the map and see if we need to take the eastbound or the westbound train, Starkaze. I saw that coming. Click on the compass point marked E if we need the eastbound train to get from London to Windsor, or W if we need to head west. Alright, you will have to wait for me. Again, give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. It seems that we need to head west, I believe. Here we go. West. Alright. We will wait for the song to finish. Wow! Windsor Castle is huge. I bet we could spend a week here and still not see everything. We'll have to hurry though, since Aunt Miranda wants us back in time for tea. Okay. This room is called the Grand Vestibule? No, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm back. Close enough. This room is called the Grand Vestibule. The swords and firearms you see here are on the walls were all in use at one time or another. Oh dear, you're here for the tour, aren't you? Not really. Sorry, we don't have time today, see that? We're trying to find information on some of the King Henrys. Can you help us? Well, I'm not sure I know very much about the Henrys, although most of them lived here at Windsor Castle at one time or another. Henry VI is buried here in the St. George's Chapel. Can you tell us anything about the armor that any of the King Henrys wore? Well, wouldn't you rather ask about some of the fine masterpieces of art we have here in the castle? I'm really much familiar. I'm sorry, I skipped it. I think she's much more familiar about the subject. For example, this painting here is a portrait of Charles I by his court painter Van something. Note the proud bearing of the horse, the bold brush strokes in His Majesty's beard. I'm not sure if it's any help at all, but sometimes court painters did more than portraits for their king. Some were commissioned to do the decorative etching on suits of armor and such. Wow, I guess that's logical. Someone who was a good painter might be good at engraving beautiful patterns on metal too. Go on, Mrs. Presswick. Actually, that's not true. Someone who can paint might not be able to etch. But then again, I can't do either. So bad at them. The court painter was usually the king's favorite artist, the finest of his time. The portraits they produced are some of my favorites. They really give us insight into the monarch's life and times. Is that all? I don't feel like I got anything. How strange. Yeah, there's nothing. I guess we'll try it anyway. I think I'll probably read through the notes then. How is it that I don't get anything? Let's see. Germans were some of the first masters of armory. Kings across much of Europe often had armor made in Germany. The armor, okay. Henry V, 6, 7 or 8, yes. Henry V, okay, yes. The word Holbein is etched into the gold and silver engraving of a gauntlet of von Kohlberg's armor. Armor was used to protect knight. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, in the days of Henry V, around the year 1400, knights wore full suits of plate armor. Plate armor. it was already plate armor when Henry V took over. So I don't know. People who lived hundreds of years. Oh wait, people who lived hundreds of years ago weren't as big or healthy as people who lived in modern times. But Henry VIII was bulky. What? They were not as tall as the typical, yeah. Kings of England's passed down, yeah. Henry V was a great soldier. He commanded. Okay, during his time they were using plate mills, right? Wait, that's a lot of info. Okay, during 1400 they were already using plate mills. Henry VI, physical weakness and mental problems. Henry VI was captured and sent. That is so harsh. Henry VII ended the Civil War. Henry VII was a very wise and just. Henry VIII, what a terrible man. Henry broke creating, but he was not fighting. Actually, he didn't fight. No! Okay, I didn't mean to press that. I was gonna press down. Give me a moment. Let me just finish reading all that. Yeah, I agree. Henry VII was a very wise person. Okay. Henry VIII broke, yeah. Court painters were often commissioned to do the etching, yeah. Henry VIII was an accomplished musician. He is also credited with inventing. But Holbein was Henry VIII's court painter. Oh my goodness. What was the armor again? Can I see? Gold and silver engraving. I'm thinking it's Henry VIII because okay, Henry VIII. Is there anything else about the armor? Is Holbein a German name? I don't know. This guy is a terrible man. I think I'll find one where it says that this court painter. Yes, I need one more. The one where it says he asked them to make his armor for. He asked them to make his armor. Where is it? No. I need one. No, not this. This. What's the one where it says that he asked them to? Okay, here you go. Owned many wonderful. is Henry VIII. Okay. Phew, so many Henrys and so little time. We had to work fast to help Count von Cobalt find out who owned that suit of armor. Mr. Sneed helped us find out tons of stuff about brave Henry V, diplomatic Henry VII, and powerful Henry VIII. But the real clue was on the armor itself, the word Holbein in the gold etching. We didn't have enough time at Windsor Castle to explore, but luckily we ran into Mrs. Prestwick. She told us that court painters sometimes did the fancy engraving on suits of armor for their king. And when we stopped off at Hampton Court, Mr. Frescura gave us the last piece of the puzzle. Holbein was the name of Henry VIII's court painter. Yeah. Henry VIII must have ordered Holbein to do the etching on his armor. When it was finished, Holbein cleverly etched his own name into the gauntlet's engraving. That sent us a message 500 years later to tell us that Count von Cobalt's armor was made for King Henry VIII. Right. Now that took longer than I expected. Yay, we finished! Well done! Now we're going to see what's going to happen in the next case. First, case of the chess club keeper. Chess club. Alright, so we'll do this in the next episode. So the next time I'll start with case of the chess club keeper. So thank you for watching and goodbye.